morning, everyone. I'm Sarah Colvin, and I'm here with Donna Larson, Garden Manager, and Darcy Carley, Conservation Agent here in the town of Barnstable. And this really is one of the most beautiful spots I've seen here in the town of Barnstable. We're at the Long Pond Conservation Area. And Darcy, let's start by talking a little bit, before we get into talking about these community gardens, about the Long Pond Conservation Area itself. How big is it?
It's 37.5 acres. And the town acquired it in 1985 through a special town meeting. And we were very fortunate. It was supposed to be a 33-lot subdivision on this property. So the town came together and voted to purchase the property, and through a lot of bargaining, it was finally acquired in 1990.
Wonderful. And what was the space used for before it was a conservation land?
Actually, a long-time farm.
A long-time farm. Wonderful. And it's still obviously being gardened and used today. Tell me a little bit about the unique features of this area.
Okay. Well, what is striking first when you walk in, after parking, you walk through big, tall yew trees, kind of welcoming you to the property. It does abut Long Pond itself. And we have an observation deck. There is a small little beach that you can fish from. There's a larger beach, but we do ask people not to use that beach. That's private or an association-owned beach. So we do ask the people to adhere to the trails. The map can be found on our town website. We have 2 miles of trails throughout the area. And it's a pitch pine, scrub oak forest mostly. We do have white pines, red maples, and there is a specimen stewardia tree on the property.
Wonderful. So tell me a little bit about what kind of management problems or issues you have to deal with here in this particular area.
Unfortunately, this one we have one of our highest vandalism rates. I'm not really sure why. Maybe they feel being out in the more country area that no one's going to notice what's going on. We actually have had to resort to installing video cameras in the parking lot and other areas to try to curb the urge of people doing some of these things. We have occasional overflowing of the trash can. Obviously, we have teen partying, so we have asked the police to keep a closer eye on this. We do take a look at the video camera tapes to make sure anything that's going on. So we just ask people, please don't leave your valuables in the car at this time. And that's about it.
Great. Well, I mean, it's unfortunate that that stuff has to happen, but knowing that you're keeping an eye on it and that the video cameras are in place, all a good thing. So we are standing amidst really some gorgeous community gardens. We'll talk about the gardens a little bit more. When did the town begin these community gardens?
Okay, the Conservation Commission in 1988 voted to use 1 3/4 acre as community gardens. And what they would do is they didn't want to get involved with the daily maintenance or management of the gardens. They wanted to hand that over to a community group, and we would work alongside of them. We would ask them to produce annual reports, come to us if they wanted to have garden expansions, or if they had any wish for benches or garden cleanup, those type of things. And we actually, whoever is managing the garden, who we brought today, Donna, we asked them to put together a garden wish list, and the Conservation Commission will review it and will help them with the budget funding for that. And I believe it was this year that we put a new meter in to help them with the watering.
Great. So Donna, you are the garden manager here at the community gardens. Tell us a little bit about your background and how you got involved with these gardens.
I live close by, so I consider this my backyard. Great backyard.
Pretty backyard.
Yes, it is. I'm a master gardener. I've been involved with many organizations since I moved to the Cape, horticulture related. So it just felt right to come here. I've been gardening in this garden for about 15 years.
Wonderful. How many current plots are there here at this garden?
We have 70 plots used by gardeners, and then we have a wildflower garden.
Wonderful. And how does water get to each garden? Does each plot have its own water supply?
Yes, we have an irrigation system. It feeds all of the plots, and everyone hooks up to their spigot. And we ask that they, try to conserve water, water at early morning and in the evening. So yes, and it works well.
Great. And so it's, of course, a community garden, which means people here in the town of Barnstable can get a plot. How does one go about getting a plot here? I'm sure it's pretty competitive.
Sometimes we have a long waiting list. Right now we have 4 people for next year. They go to the conservation website, and that'll guide them to me, and I'll put them on a wait list. And usually in February or March, I'm able to figure out who's coming back, who's not. We've actually expanded this garden by 20 plots in 5 years.
Wow.
So,
Now, is it a case of once you have a plot, you can keep it for as long as you want? There's no time limit, but when you want to give it up, you can go ahead and give it up.
Yes, but we try to keep an eye on people who aren't using it. If you haven't used it in a couple of years, then I'm probably going to find another gardener.
Exactly. Are there requirements for upkeep on there? Things
Yes.
that you can and can't plant, fertilizers you can and can't use, that sort of
This is
thing?
an organic garden. We ask gardeners to maintain their pathways for safe access, because if you look, there are front gardens and back gardens. So if people didn't maintain their paths, then the people in the back couldn't access their garden.
Exactly. So is there a fee for having a plot here?
There is. We have 20 by 40 plots, and they are $30, and we have 20 by 20 plots, and they're $25.
Great. And how do people park and get access? Obviously, we saw a car come down the road. We're kind of standing in the access road now.
Yes.
Is that okay to come in and drive down and park right up next to your plot?
It is. As you saw when you drove in, it's a small parking lot used by many. So Darcy and I talked, and it seemed easier to allow gardeners to come in, and we have a designated parking area for gardeners. And they lock and unlock the gate and just drive in, and then it's safe to be in here, and there's the parking is free for people who walk the trails.
Wonderful. So Donna, are there any difficult issues that you face as the garden manager? I mean, I'm sure lots of different people, everybody's got their own style. What are some of the challenges that you face?
Well, like Darcy said, this year has been difficult with cars being broken into. And another thing is people come in and just take vegetables.
Right.
They look at it as a community garden, and
Say, hey, look, let me grab some corn.
Yes,
There's some tomatoes
yes,
over here,
yes.
some lettuce, tasty,
Yes,
but that's a big no-no.
It is. And, you can tell I'm here almost every day, so you can tell who's here and what they're here for, especially when they walk in with a bag.
Exactly. Now, do you have to be an experienced gardener to have a plot like this? Are there any
No,
lessons?
not
Can
at
you
all.
come and kind of start on your own?
Yes, absolutely, start on your own. And there are many gardeners here willing to help anyone.
Right.
And, it's a neat little family here.
Indeed, I'm really just looking at the small portion of it I've seen so far. There's a huge variety of things growing, from flowers to corn to tomatoes. Is there anything really unusual that anyone's ever tried to grow here that you can think of off the top of your head?
We grew cotton one year.
Really?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. And we harvested it. We ran a children's garden program here for 8 years, and we grew cotton.
Wonderful. Very exciting.
Cool.
Well, Donna and Darcy, thank you so much for inviting us out here to this beautiful place, and I'm definitely going to try and take a walk before we leave.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Darcy Carley of Conservation here in the town of Barnstable, and Donna Lawson, the gardener in charge of the Long Pond Conservation Area. I'm Sarah Colvin.